Hey, how you guys doing today? Welcome to Mage Bros Barbecue Pit. I'm Thomas, and this here is my cohort, Joseph.
How you doing? So for our brisket rub, we have salt, pepper, garlic, brown sugar, and paprika. So we're just gonna really gingerly rub it on. Gingerly the right word? Probably not. And this is a 6-pound brisket that we picked up yesterday, actually 2 days ago. We enjoy smoking briskets.
Yep. Flip it over.
We're gonna go ahead and oh yeah, look at that lovely fat right there.
Now I'm gonna switch it over to me while you're doing that. All right. Now while Joseph is doing the seasoning on top of the thing, just to let you know, for us here at Mage Moon, we actually don't trim off too much anything off of this brisket. We pretty much leave everything on there. It is up to the person and the people who want to do their own brisket of how they want to, if they want to cut some meat off, cut some fat off, trim this, trim that. But as meat eaters, we want it all on there.
Waste not, want not.
All right, guys, how you doing? We're going to inject brisket. I think it goes both ways sometimes. Some people want to inject it, some people don't. They'll just baste it throughout the cook process, which is what we did last time. We actually basted through, like about every hour, we basted it with some type of a liquid. I think we used mostly beef broth and maybe some melted butter. This concoction that I have this time is beef broth, Worcestershire sauce, apple cider vinegar, and I believe that is it. I don't remember anything else. Hopefully. I don't think. It may come up later, who knows. But anyway, so the rule of thumb that they say about trying to inject it is kind of grit out your brisket and inject it on that type, and make sure you just get your injector in there and start to inject. And hopefully, as you'll see, if you can see it in the video here, that you can see some of the base coming out. Oh, when I was talking about the grid, I meant almost like a 1-inch, 2-inch type grid base, which I'm trying to go by. I know there is a rule of thumb also on the amount that you should inject. Oh, that came all the way out, my bad. And if I did not mention it, this is actually the first time we are...
You mentioned it, but I think it's worth repeating.
Injecting our beef, so if we screw up, well, guess what? This is where we screwed up at.
Typically, I don't inject my own beef, but you know.
No, you just play with it. So we're going to add a little bit more because I don't like the amount was not. I think it's about 5 ounces, I believe this is what they say. Is a good amount. Now, the difference between this brisket and our last brisket, now I'm just trying to find little pockets. Fill up that middle just right there. Our last brisket was actually a little bit thicker than this brisket is. So I'm expecting, excuse me, the grill time and actually put a lot more injection in there is not necessary.
Yep.
Just for the fact of it's a little bit thinner. It's a big piece of meat, but it's thin meat.
Yep.
All right. This normally would just feed Joseph and me, but we are going to share with the family, so.
It's Easter.
It's Easter, so. All right, guys, here we are. We're about to throw the brisket onto the heat. As always, there really is no tried or true timing or temperature to do. Don't you fall off the deck. To do your brisket, it's really about temperature. Not temperature, but temperature, the way our dad says it. And also, whether it's fat down or fat side up. In actuality, I did not do this the way I wanted to, now that I think about it. But I'm going to leave it like it is.
Go ahead, pick it up.
I'm going to leave it. No, we'll leave it like that. We'll see how that does. It'll be nice, crispy fat.
Oh, yeah.
For later. And I just poured the juices back on there just to put it back on there.
I think we'll make that my new pin name. Crispy Fat.
Crispy fat. The crispy fat barbecue. Actually, we need to put some wood on.
3.
All right, what we did forget to do, we forgot to put the wood on the fire, but I guess it doesn't really matter if you put it on first or...
Well, we did have a few pieces on.
And this is mesquite. We're doing mesquite with this brisket. Mesquite, pecan, I believe a dry oak type is the main choices to do briskets normally. I decided to go with just mesquite. Sometimes I'll get both mesquite and pecan because I do like both of those as my wood of choices. I think I've done cherry too for something, but I don't remember what we did. I think it was a prime rib.
I think so.
We did the cherry with. So that's going to get your smoke going. We're going to close this up. Just a traditional barbecue setup. You know, this is not a smoker, not a true smoker, not a pellet smoker like everybody else is. We're just homegrown, home tried, and home tested.
Hardest part about smoking, just waiting for it to finish. Yep.
So 2.5 hours later, from when we put the brisket on the grill for the smoking, we are now taking it off because it reached a core temperature of 172. I really wanted it down around 160,
So you go
165,
down,
but
but you don't come
we
to
didn't
me.
do it. So don't worry about the background noise because that's just a bunch of jabber jibber. So we're gonna put it on the smoker, back on the grill, and let it cook for another hour to get to a core temperature around 200. All right. I'll call you that.
What if you said something?
Oh shit.
Hi, Joseph Semiego with Mage Bros.
Got some smoke blowing now. Must be doing something right.